Chanda Kochhar, thank you very much for joining us. How much in this budget for the banking sector do you feel?
Well, banking sector is always a reflection of the economy, so I would rather say how much in this budget for the economy.
Right.
I think there were really two big priorities for the country today, and I think this budget has very comprehensively tried to address those two big priorities, because in my mind the two priorities were fiscal consolidation and bringing back investment. And I think it's very heartening to see that we believe that the fiscal deficit is going to be 5.2 for this year, and that gives us the confidence to target 4.8 for next year. And similarly, if you look at investments, if you read the budget carefully, there is in fact a lot of things that can spur investments. I mean, first of all, we are talking of increasing the plan expenditure, so let some push come from the government. Then of course on the private sector side, bringing back investment allowance, I think that can be a big boost to actually enable investments to come back. Then if you look at low cost housing, there is the additional benefit to people who borrow for low cost houses, so in a way again an incentive for people to buy homes. But then you look at the various sectors. I mean, on coal, he's actually talked about public-private partnership. He's talked about the fact that coal needs to be imported, pool pricing needs to be addressed, and so on. You look at roads, they're talking about, the various corridors, saying that there would be a new road regulator, we'd award at least 3,000 kilometers. And then finally, for the long term, even the energy sector. I mean, we're talking of shale gas. I think an important aspect to say that we will move from profit sharing to revenue sharing. I think that's, a small announcement, but I think that can make a lot of impact in bringing back focus. So, there is a lot here for us to really look forward to as far as pushing investments is concerned.
But Chanda Kochhar, Mr. Goyal just pointed out that the government capital expenditure is down by 77,000 crores. Is the private sector going to step in and not be crowded out like earlier, or is that not going to happen?
No, I think one is that on the rural areas, etc., there is a push towards government expenditure, and the private sector has to, in any case, do its part. I mean, in any case, if we look at the plan, the 5-year plan, we are saying there is a larger reliance on private sector even for infrastructure. So, all the sectors that I spoke about, finally, private sector has to play a role. But, I also say that we all tend to look at the budget as one big cure for 12 months. I don't think we should really believe that this is the only announcement that is going to spur investments back into the country. We also have to remember that each of the things that I spoke about, whether it's public-private partnership in coal, or actually awarding the contracts on road, or actually moving, making things move on the energy sector, of course we have to spend the next 12 months on a daily basis to make sure that these things actually happen.